Hi guys, today I'll finally be doing my commentary on the 4 versus match, and the first one I chose, I think it's a pretty good one, is from last year's Virginia meet, round of 16. Uh, it was a round with Matthias as player 1, Jones as player 2, Frankie as player 3, and Jake as player 4. And the race I will be commenting on is Ligi Raceway. It was a pretty nice race. Some nice strategies used in there. I watched it before, and I think there are a lot of useful tips to give on this based on this race. Yeah. Yeah, let's just start. And the way I'll be commenting this. Uh, I'll kind of do it from my own perspective. I'll say what I would do and what I would think in some key moments as each player. So let's start this, and you'll see right from the start here. So Matthias and Jones, they got a start boost. Frankie got a kind of slow start, and Jay got super slow start. So at this straight Midge Raceway, you have to think about three things in the beginning. The first thing is get those item boxes. The second thing is don't hit that bump, and yeah, the third thing is be aware of the situation and know where your opponents are. So at this point, Matthias and Jones have to be aware that Frankie and Jake are behind, and that they will get the third and fourth place items. So there is no, I mean, they can, but there is no use of sandbagging because you would have to brake pretty hard if you were Jones or Matthias. And even if you do that, Frankie and Jake might do so as well. So yeah, you could lose quite a lot of time. So in their situation, what you want to do, you just wanna drive straight with as much speed as you can, and make sure you don't hit that bomb. And of course, as Frankie and Jake, you wanna make sure you pick up those items in case some of those guys in front try to do something crazy. Okay, so here we come to the first bomb, and you can kind of see it before, so you know where it goes. And Jones and Matthias decided, okay, they probably saw the bomb and they said, okay, I don't need to jump, I'm safe. But I say you always take that hop. It doesn't cost you anything, and in case the bomb surprises you with the jump, you stay safe. So if you can see on Frankie's screen, the bomb is right in front of him, so he will definitely have to make the jump. And yeah, just watch Jones and Matthias first, because they don't do the jump at all, just drive. And you see Frankie, he's heading straight for the bomb. Maybe if he gets lucky, he miss it. But what he does, he jumps and makes sure that he doesn't. That way, he makes sure he doesn't hit the bomb. You can yeah, you have seen the pop. Let's just repeat it again. Yeah. Just look at Frankie's screen. Yeah, so he just made the pop, and Jake is also going towards the bomb, but he decided not to make the jump. He probably thought he was far enough on the left, but again, just take that hop at the right moment, and you won't have to deal with bombs. Okay, so for the item box, You'll see one strategy that Jones does, and what he does here. You will see on Jones' screen, just on the right, you see Matthias go a bit forward. And what Jones does here, he just let go of the A button for just a fraction of a second. So he doesn't lose much time, and he makes sure that he gets the item in second place, which is a pretty good strategy, but not always. I would say in this situation it's not that great, because when everyone are close, second place is actually not that great, because third and fourth places get can get great items, and in second place you can get things like star and triple reds, but percentage is pretty lower. So in this situation, I would just go and raise Matthias. He's also on the inside, and if he can get, for example, a banana, it's enough to get him and to leave him behind dealing with those guys. So if you see now, okay, so Frankie got a star, Matthias got a mushroom, and Jones got the banana. And at this point, yeah, Matthias shroom is pretty bad. You cannot do anything with it. Jones with second place banana, also nothing good. And at this point, they're just hoping that Frankie and Jake don't get anything. And Frankie did get a star. And you have two options at this point. You can just go left right away and cut the grass here, which is not bad. But in this situation, it's maybe good to just wait fraction of a second, and see what Jake will get. And if he gets nothing dangerous, then you just want to drive to the next item boxes behind those guys, because everyone are pretty close, and take the star just before them and get another item in third place and cut the grass, the second part of the grass. So that would be the best thing to do here, especially if you're playing against someone who is not trigger happy. And yeah, Jake, I don't think he is that trigger happy. So for example, if you play with someone, you also have to know your opponents, and if you see that a person is trigger happy, just spamming their items, you maybe just want to try to take the star here in case they get a bolt, so you get a big advantage. But in this situation, I would just definitely wait and see what Jake gets. And since he got triple shrooms, and you have to, I mean, it's, you have to just watch, for example, if you're a Frankie, you have to watch his Jake's screen at the moment he gets the items to decide if you take the star or not. I think Frankie decided this a bit earlier. So yeah, he figures the star here. And as Jake at this point, you get triple shrooms, and what you want to do here is just get rid of them as soon as possible. Because, uh, yeah, I mean, you can drive behind those guys and pick an item in fourth place in the tunnel. But, yeah, I mean, actually, you can do that here. But I would prefer just, for example, cutting the grass. And if you feel like you want a fourth place item, you can just maybe break a bit, and it's not a problem. But if you drive behind all the time and you hit the banana or hit the bomb, then it's pretty bad. So it's definitely better to go off road, where you're sure that you will not hit anything, and then maybe later decide if you want to take the fourth place item, or you wanna go for first place. Definitely keeps your options open, and yeah, you don't hit anything. So Frankie's gonna start. Jake finally decides to get rid of the shrooms. Yeah, and he kind of did this strategy. So he cut the grass and he waited with one shroom just in case he hits something to use it after. And he made sure he gets for another fourth place items pretty close to Matthias and Jones. So it was a pretty good strategy. Here, as you enter the tunnel, for example, if you're Matthias, you know that you're gonna pick the item boxes because Frankie is enough in front. And what you want to do here as Matthias or as Jones, well, it's maybe a bit harder for Jones because he has Matthias in front of him. But you want to jump in the last moment and jump to the left or to the right. In Matthias's case, you just want to jump to the left at the last moment and confuse people behind you. And maybe even sometimes when you have enough time, you just look at their screen, look in which direction they are going, and just go for that at the last moment. So you take their items. This is something you really want to do when you are in first or second place. See Matthias just go forward. Jones is already committed to going left, but he should also try to do this to Jake. Uh, Focused on getting the item boxes. I mean, it's not terrible, but you can definitely make a play here. And as Jake, he's just making sure he gets their items and fires the shroom at the last possible moment. He does great here. Okay, so Matthias gets triple red here. And at this point, he can pretty much shoot Frankie. Yeah, you definitely want to wait until you're out of the tunnel, and right about at this point, if you want to shoot him, you just send two reds. But it definitely depends on the situation. In this situation, I think it's definitely good to save the reds because third and fourth place are pretty close, and you want to see what they are going to get. For example, if someone gets a bolt, you definitely want to hit someone who gets the bolt. And even if Jake and Jones were not that close, sometimes you want to hold on these reds. It depends. For example, if you have a player who you think drives better than you in front of you, you definitely want to shoot him uh, because you might not get another chance. For example, if you hit something, the bomb or something, he's gone and your chance is gone. So, for example, if Matthias was in Frankie's place in front of me, and I was in Matthias's place, I would probably shoot the reds. Maybe not in this situation because third and fourth are close, but if third and fourth were not close and it was still like lap 2, I would definitely shoot for someone that I feel can front run the race pretty easily. But if you feel comfortable in your driving ability, then yeah, it's better to hold the reds. And so let's see forward. Okay, so Jones got a star and Jake got a Bowser shell, the blue shell, and Jones definitely makes a mistake here. I mean, this is a good place to use a star, but also as Matthias uh, waited to see what the people behind him get, Jones should have definitely waited to see what Jake will get. Again, he's not a trigger happy guy, so you don't expect him to insta-bolt. Um, and in this case, Jake got the blue shell, and as Jones, you wanna just drive behind Matthias. He's fast enough, so he will not slow him down. And you just wanna wait and see if Jake's gonna fire this blue shell. And if he does, just use the star at the next opportunity after the first item boxes in the next lap. Because this way uh, there is a chance you will get into first place before the Bowser Shell or the blue shell hits the first place, and then you will get hit by it. So definitely in this situation with the star, you should wait and see what the fourth place gets and what he does with it. And as Jake, I mean, you just don't care. You just want to hit people. You just fire that blue as soon as possible. Or maybe now that you see that Jones has triggered his star, maybe just wait for 3 or 4 seconds to make sure you hit him, um, since you get a star. And yeah, Jake just fired his push shell as he should. And Matthias is waiting here. We'll see. Yeah, let's go back a bit. So as Matthias, you have a few options here. So he already decided not to shoot Frankie, and he saw what Jones and Jake got for sure. So he knows that blue shell is on the way, and he knows that Jones is cutting the grass with the star. And what he does is he waits for Jones to pass him so he can shoot some reds after him. And this is even when a person in front of you has a star, you can get him with reds because they are just a bit faster than the star, not by much. And if you time it right, you can hit someone who has a star just as his star is over. So what Matthias does here, he's looking at his placement number. At this point, it's number 2. But as soon as it gets to number 3, he will fire his reds, and this is what you should do if someone behind you has, for example, shrooms or star. You want to shoot as soon as they pass you. Okay, maybe not if they have a star, but if they have star and cutting the track, they have enough distance. So. Matthias gets third place, and he finishes the MP and fires 2 reds immediately. So it wasn't immediately, but it was very, very, very soon. And he fires 2 red shells here. Yeah, you see how he gets into the sand because it's more important to track at this point. It's more important to track where Jonesy is and what he does and track your positioning than doing those extra 1 and 2 MPs. So definitely a good move by Matthias. In this case, he could have fired just 1 red shell because Jonesy doesn't have anything, but he's playing it completely safe. He knows the buzzer shell is going in. He knows Jones he will not get to the item boxes in time, but he just plays it safe, fires the 2 reds, and makes sure that Jonesy doesn't run this race. He made a little mistake here, Matthias. I mean, it happens when you look at other people's screens. He missed the item boxes, but yeah, it's not that terrible. I mean, even if you get the item boxes in third place, you can get in with heavy items. And if you don't want anyone escaping or front running, you want to make sure they don't escape. You definitely make your shot when you have your window open, and this is exactly what Matthias did. Okay, so we see now that okay, so Frankie makes a mistake. He should have been aware at this point, even before here. At this point, when you're Frankie, you look at other people's screen. You look at Matthias primarily, and he sees 3 reds. You should see 3 reds, and you should know that you cannot do anything at this point. So you just drive. And then after you pass the bomb, you take a quick look what Jones and Jake are getting. So yeah, he draw a bit on the sand. Maybe he probably took a look. And he knows Matthias. At this point, Matthias is here with 3 reds. Bowser Shell. Most importantly, Bowser Shell is incoming. And what you want to do, you want to hope someone will pass you and make sure you don't drive in the middle. Fortunately, Frankie does just that. He drives in the middle and Bowser Shell hits him in second place. Matthias here with 1 red left. He knows. Yeah, he probably knows. He probably knows that Frankie got hit by Shell. Yeah, at this point, as you're Matthias, you know you got 1 Shell, and you just search for whoever is second to hit him. Yeah, it's a straight in front of him. So he missed the items, and then look. At this point, you want to look where is the second, who is in second place, and who can I hit. And he knows at this point, yeah, I can hit Frankie, and this is exactly what he does. Yeah, let's just see if Jones. Okay. So as Jake here in 4th place, what he does, he gets the reds, and immediately as you get these reds as Jake, you search for the player in front of you. He sees Matthias is in front of him. He sees that Matthias is on red, so the action here should be just fire 2 reds as soon as possible. And this is exactly what he does. It's good that he did it right away because Matthias just hit Frankie, and if Jake was just a bit later, he would have hit Frankie again. And I mean, you are want to hit someone who is already in the air. You are always targeting to hit someone who will go in front. And yeah, Jake obviously decided that 1 red is actually enough to hit Matthias, so yeah, it's fine anyway. Jones just got hit by Bowser Shell and red shells, so it's good that Matthias sent 2 red shells because Jones is quite close to the iron boxes, so definitely good call from Matthias. And he also got hit by a Bowser Shell as well, but it doesn't matter, it's just a safe play from Matthias, which is good. And here is Frankie, and where you are like in the air, and then again in the air. What you want to do when you are in the air, this is a perfect situation, perfect time to take a look around and see what's happening with our players. And at this point, he should know that Matthias is just passing him, and immediately he should look for a player in the last place, and he should see that Jake is coming in with reds. And what you want to do here as Frankie is don't do triple A's as soon as you hit the ground. Just maybe wait for a second and make sure Jake passes you and doesn't hit you with another red. Unfortunately, Frankie took too late here and even went to the left into Jake, and it would have been very costly if he had hit another one of those reds. And it's not just that you lose time, it's you save players in 1st or 2nd place from those reds as well. So yeah, okay, what Jake is doing, he already sent that 1 red long ago, he hit Matthias, and shots another one here, trying to get Matthias over the iron boxes, and Matthias triple A's here, which is enough for him to get enough speed and goes over the items. Jones 1st place with the banana. Yeah, just keep it for protection and focus on driving at this point. As Matthias, you cannot do anything. You just have to drive to the next iron boxes, focus on driving as well. But as Frankie and Jake, this point, yeah, Frankie is in third place with 3 shrooms. He knows that Matthias got nothing, so he's safe. What he can do, he can drive behind Jake, who has a red, and wait for the next items. But for me, this is a waste of time, because in this situation, if you are, it's always tough when you are against reds in front of you, but this is a good place to try and escape those reds, because there is a tunnel after this turn, and if you can make it to the tunnel before those reds get to you, it's perfect, you are safe. And even if the reds hit you, even if Jake gets another 3 reds here, it doesn't matter, because he can only hit you with 1. So what you want to do is you want to fire, you just do the cut as usual, and as soon as you fire the second shroom, or as soon as you get into the second place here, you want to watch what Jake is doing. And if he's late with the red, go for the third shroom and try to escape. And if he's on time with his red, then just wait for the red to hit you and compensate with the third shroom. This is exactly what Frankie did. So he decided, he committed, trying to cut the grass and pass Jake. And he fires 1, 2, and now he's in second place. And Jake, also from his perspective, at this point, before, so he knows Matthias doesn't get anything because he overshot him. He has to watch in practice at this point. You have to see what Frankie will get, and he has to know that Frankie got 3 shrooms, and he has to know that he must make that shot. So what he wants to do here is just watch your placement number. And as soon as it gets to number 3, just shot the red. And yeah, let's just go back to Frankie. So he fires the first shroom, he fires the second shroom, and now you're in second place. And from this point on, you look at what Jake is doing, if you're Frankie. So you just watch, and still nothing is happening. You see how long? So, second place. And this next window, this is how much time you have to decide. Watch, and still he didn't fire it. So it's enough time to decide if you wanna go all in or just wait for the red. And at this point, Frankie should see, yeah, Jake didn't shoot the red. Well, he fires the third shroom. Jake fired his red very, very late. He's in third place for so long. And look at this. He fired it now, but Frank is already in the tunnel. So definitely very, very late red from Jake. Okay, so what Jones is doing here, he has a good lead, maybe not in second place, but third and fourth are not that close. So, I mean, when I'm in first place, if I have an item and I'm getting more items, what I want to do is leave as much stuff on the track as possible. If you have only one protection, then keep it in case someone gets the red behind you. But if you are far enough in front, definitely leave traps on the track. This is key for front running. You gotta. This is the only way you can slow down your opponents, and one banana can be very, very costly. So if I was Jonesy, I would have left this banana right on this exit here, like maybe like here. He decides not to do it. And also, as Jake, I mean, you are in third place, banana doesn't mean anything to you. This is also a good place to put a banana down just as you're entering the tunnel and the road goes down, so you don't see this banana until up until the last moment. So yeah, definitely if I were Jake, I would just play this banana here for next lap and the player in first place. because this is sometimes, even if you get like a fake item or a banana in third place, you are pretty demotivated. But if it's lap 1 or 2, you can still set those traps for players in the lead for the next laps, especially the fake items. So don't waste these items. Right. Item boxes. He's basically in the same situation as Matthias on the last lap. He got 3 reds. He can shoot Jones if he wants, but it's lap 2. No need to panic. It's not Matthias in the first place. Jones is a good driver, but his Frankie can. I think Frankie can match him. So in Frankie's position, I definitely wouldn't shoot the reds here. You just want to wait and see what third and fourth player gets. And yeah, this is one mistake Matthias made. So he is driving like for half a lap without anything, focusing on driving. And at this point, you're entering the tunnel. You know the guy is Jake in first place is not far in front of him. So what you want to do at this point is look at Jake's screen. Forget about your MT. Look at Jake's screen, and make sure you pick up the item boxes. And at this point, you just look at Jake's screen. You see he's going right, and you just go left. Unfortunately, Matthias didn't do that, and he missed the item boxes. So watch. This is definitely a must. You must watch what people are getting, and before the item box, you always must watch if the player in front of you is very close, what he is going to do in order to make sure you get that item boxes. Okay, so Frankie actually decides to hit Jones. It's not a bad move. It's okay move. I would have waited to see what then maybe shoot it, but it's fine either way. Lost his shield on the banana. Okay, so as Jake here, you got the golden shroom. You wanna watch and see what the person behind you got. In fourth place, it's Matthias missed it, so he's safe. And unlike the other turn, if you make a cut here, the reds will get you, so it's not safe. You cannot escape from the reds with the shrooms here. So you definitely know that if you go for the shrooms, you will get hit by the red. But it's not that bad because it's a golden shroom and you can recover very quickly. But in this situation, it might not have been that bad that you wait for the next turn. It's hard to say because you know that Frankie is in front with the reds and Matthias is behind. So if Matthias gets a bolt, you are pretty much a gunner. So I think actually it's not that bad. You just go and get rid of that golden shroom and play from Jake here. And then again, the situation as we had in the previous lap with Jake and Frankie. Now it's the other way around, and Jake is using the shroom and Frankie has the red, and what Frankie should be watching is his placement. It's number 2, and as soon as he gets number 3, he should shoot Jake. And of course here, the situation where he fired 2 reds, after he decided that he will fire them, actually they went into the wall. So he was a bit late here. He should have fired them right when he exited the tunnel, or better to wait and see what the players behind get, and if they don't get anything great, just shoot Jones at the finish straight. But anyway, at this point, Frankie should take a look at number 3 and 4 and see what they got. Should be aware of the golden shroom for sure. And then he's looking at its placement number, and as soon as it turns to 3, you see he shoots it. And this is the way how Jake was supposed to do it on the last lap, and this is the way you should do it every time when there is a person with the shrooms trying to cut you. Just fire it as soon as they pass you, and make sure you get that hit. Here in the air, was the green shell on the banana, nothing to do here. And then at this point, he's probably looking behind what's happening behind him. I don't know, it's actually not that great of a moment to look what's happening behind you, because neither third or fourth place are at the item boxes, so there is nothing to watch there. Maybe you want to see what the second player gets. Yeah, maybe he was going for that, but let's see what happens. He hits the item box, fake item box. So you gotta pick your moments when to look on the other players' screens. And this is, for me, these moments are most importantly when they get into the items. And we see Frankie's getting here into the items, but the situation is not that dangerous. It's more dangerous at this point to see what will Jake and Matthias get. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not the best of him at this point, but I mean, it happens. The iron box. The red for Frankie. Jake is just losing his shroom. Nothing to worry about this. About there. He gets hit and he just continues to the shroom. It's fine. But here are some two important things. So Frankie got 3 shrooms in third place, and he sent the red. He knows the red will hit Jake. I don't know if he's aware that Jones is in the air. He's probably, but at this point he should see Jones, and he has 2 options with these 3 shrooms. You either wanna come to the next item boxes in third place and then shoot the 3 shrooms just before you get the item boxes to get another third place item, or if you think you're not going to make it in third place, if you're going to get second or first, definitely save the shrooms. And he knows, at this point, Frankie knows that he sent the red for Jake, and he sees Jones, he's standing in the road, so what I would do, I would save those 3 shrooms. Frankie, he's already in second place here, and you definitely want to save the 3 shrooms, because again, you can get a star or reds in second place, but I think it's pretty safe play just to go and cut the grass on this first corner, get into the first place before the tunnel, and get a nice lead to just escape. Only if the guys get like bolts or stars that can get you, but yeah, even if you are first and one person passes you, it's fine. But yeah, at this point, as Frankie, you just want to open up a lead and with those shrooms and just drive to the end. He decides to fire this shroom, I don't know why, and he's even in first place now. Jake got pretty unlucky, got hit by Jones. Really nice bug by Jones. He's like waiting here with green, what am I going to do? He keeps his calm and doesn't fire it, and Jake gets it. But on the other hand, for example, Matthias, he also got 3 shrooms, but he's far enough behind to use them and still get to the item boxes in fourth place, and definitely this is something that you shouldn't think anything about. Everyone are so close, and you just want to get those fourth place items. Just get rid of the shrooms. And actually he got third here, but third is still fine. Yeah, and he kind of makes sure, yeah, that no one gets his items in front of him. So yeah, Frankie, for example, you see Jones sees Frankie going to the left, and then he jumps to the right. Good thinking by Jones. And Matthias doesn't know what's happening, but yeah, he's probably looking at people in front of him. Yeah, at this point as Matthias, you should definitely look in front of you where people are going. He sees Jones at this point going left. He sees Frankie going left, so he doesn't go right. Yeah, great call by Matthias, and he also goes and tries to steal Jake's items, but Jake keeps calm and collects his fourth place items. Let's get started. Frank is making the cut, unfortunately only with 2 shrooms, so he will not open the lead here. Jones has a red shell, but he knows that he will not hit Frankie, and yeah, at this point is Jones, you get a red, and you want to see what Matthias and Jake are getting, and you see Jones is just driving in the middle of the sand. This is because he's looking at Matthias' save screens as he should. So okay, at this point he knows that Matthias got free shrooms, and he knows he's gotta make that hit. And again, the same strategy, he has to look at his placement number, and as soon as it goes to free, fire it. As for Matthias, same as Frankie on the right left, he has to fire shrooms, and as soon as he gets into the second place, he just has to wait and see what Jones will do, and if Jones fires the red on time, then just wait for the red and use the shroom after, and if Jonesy is slow, just use the first shroom and try to get to the top. As for Jake, he got a pretty powerful item. He sees that Matthias got mushrooms. Situation in front of him is a fine. Jones got only 1 red, so you can either make a cut here, or what you could do, you see that Jones is pretty close in second, and he probably knows that Jones will make the hit. He's good enough, and so what you want to do is just wait with the star until the last item box is use it, then just drive to the finish line and get another 4th place item. Definitely a very good call by Jake for waiting here. And you see, yeah, as soon as Jones got into 3rd place, like 1 second, and he fired it. And Matthias is waiting, and he sees already he's coming. He doesn't fire the 3rd shot, he fires it. Great. Frankie, unfortunately, you see he's in the air. When you are in 1st place, you just gotta make sure that you finish up. And if you fail to make that little pop, you should always stop in the places where there are bombs. Don't forget that. Yeah, you see he's not that far in front, but he kind of messed up his shrooms. He fired 1 into the wall, he fired 1 badly, so he basically made a cut with only 1 shroom. If he had made this cut with 3 shrooms, he would have probably been in the tunnel or even near the item boxes by now, and if you ask me, it's pretty good lead to keep at least 2nd place. Unfortunately, he didn't do it, and he hit the bomb here. Okay, I see Jones and Matthias coming in for the item boxes very, very close together. So Matthias has to just make the last minute jump to the side and get the items. Jones could also try to troll him and also make the last minute jump to one side and hope Matthias does this picks the same side so he gets the items in front of him. Definitely a move you should try to do. Yeah, and you see Jones did well to pick two items, but Matthias made a sharp jump and was able to pick the item boxes. Jake here just fires the star, gets another third place item. And yeah, what Frankie should do here, yeah, she should definitely watch where Jake is, so he makes sure he picks this item box. But a bit lucky here, because they didn't pick two of them. Yeah, so Jones with the green, Matthias with the red. Only thing that Jones has to do is now drive good enough so Matthias doesn't come close and hit him on the side. Yeah, at this point Jones is, yeah, he's looking. As Jones, you gotta look at what Matthias is getting. He knows that Matthias got red shell. He's looking also. He sees probably he sees the shrooms, the star. So yeah, nothing that can hit him. I mean, the star will pass him, but there's nothing you can do about it. So at this point, Jones has to just drive his race. Matthias, what he has to do is also just drive his race. Maybe think of how he should stop Frankie, but yeah, if he gets close enough to Jones, he just needs to stay close enough to Jones and hope he gets something good in the next iron blocks. Okay, so yeah, Frankie got a very, very unlucky here, 4th place. 3 shrooms, Jake in front of him with the red, with the star. So what you want to do here as Frankie, you have two options. Either go for the last item boxes, cut the grass and go for the last item boxes, which I would have done here because yeah, Jones and Matthias are close enough. And but you can also go all in and just try to drive your race, cut as much as you can, but you are then turning up in the last straight without anything, so it can be very dangerous. He decided to make the cut. Unfortunately, he hit the wall. So even for me, even if I had decided to go for the cut, I would have probably switched my mind here and just went for the items because of his driver's mistake. It actually turned out good for Frankie because he ended up not going in front of Matthias, but we'll see that. Yeah, Jones hit very unlucky with hit the banana here. Easy pass for Matthias. Then at this point, Jones won green shell. He cannot do anything here. He just has to hope to get something good in that. He has to make sure he gets them. Frankie just taking the cut and very, very unlucky. Jones triple shoots with Matthias and Frankie so close. If you get anything good here, just get them free shrooms. It's basically the worst thing he could have gotten. And as we see it, he's just his third. He just got, yeah, he got the triple shrooms here. Yeah, he's in 3rd place, and he got into 4th like instantly. So, I mean, he was in 1st just fraction before, so we cannot watch everybody at this point. So he got a bit unlucky with the placement in which he got the item, and he got terribly unlucky with triple shrooms. Terrible, but he also makes a mistake here. I mean, it was from despair, I guess. You feel really bad if you get something like this. He just wanted to hit Matthias with anything he gets. Fortunately, he got the shrooms and he made a mistake with driving, also almost spun out, lost time here, lost room, and yeah, lost any chances for the first place as well. And if you see Matthias here, he is looking at what Jones is getting. He's looking at where Frankie is, and he's going straight for the item boxes, take item box block, and this is a risk. This is a risk. He knows Frankie will be coming on the road, and he has to make sure he's not too close so he doesn't pass him in the end. And as you will see, he has a great reaction. He's so close to the big item box, and he sees it at the last moment, and he fires that red in the last moment and saves himself. If he had hit this, you see, he fired it right here, and it got to the item box, big item box right here. If he had hit this big item box, he would have ended up fourth. Even with the 3 red shells, it's too close to the finish line. This is fourth place right there. So very, very good reactions from Matthias. But on the other hand, for example, for Jones, you see how far he is from Matthias? He's not that far. And he has free shrooms at this point. And with these free shrooms, he probably couldn't get Matthias, but he could ended up very close behind him. And why I'm saying this, how far Frankie ended up behind Matthias. And hadn't Jones messed up those free shrooms, he could have probably gotten the third place. So I know it's depressing, it's very depressing, you know, to get free shrooms in the last item boxes. When you were first, you hit the banana, you get the free shrooms. But you gotta make it. You gotta stay calm, and you gotta make good calls and get that third place in these situations. Not everything was lost, and unfortunately, in the moment he got spun out, everything went away. So it's very, as you see, it's very small things. For example, had Matthias seen that fake iron box and had he hit it, it would have been -2 points for him. And in case Jones reacted good, he would have passed Frankie and got into second. And you see, Jones would have ended up second, Matthias would have ended up fourth, and that's 4 points right there. So it's very small things, but this is what makes the difference, especially in courses like Ridge Race where you have to stay calm in the end. And Matthias made a good call. Jones unfortunately didn't, and this is where 4 points. You know, this is a 4-point mistake basically. Yeah, Frankie, as we spoke, he got a bit lucky in the end. Those push rooms were terrible items, but he hit the wall on the push room, so he didn't come in front of Matthias. Had he came in front of Matthias, Matthias would have hit him, and he would have ended up behind Jones. And had he went for the item boxes, he could have maybe missed them or whatever, and still end up behind Jones. So it played very well for Frankie, but I mean it's your call. But in Frankie's situation, I would have went for the last item boxes here and hoped I will get something great, because you know, third place is okay, it's better than fourth, but it's only 1 point. So yeah, if you have a chance to risk it for first or second, definitely go for it, because it's worth it. Okay guys, so thanks for watching, and my next video will be for the, I think it will be semi-finals between me, Jones, Burbank, and I think it is Kyle, DKJP race. There were some interesting moments, so I will comment on that one next. And if any one of you find any races they wanna see commented, they think any races are pretty interesting, or if you just want to see what I was thinking in certain situations, or how I would think in certain situations, yeah, just message me and I'll do the commentary on that stuff. Yeah. Thanks for watching and until next time.